Hello. Already went to Target and got a bookshelf and 4 books, and now I am going into Barnes & Noble, but this is going to be kind of a vlog of me book shopping and then also a book haul. So once I get all my books, I'm going to go home. I'm going to do kind of a collective haul of books I've already gotten for my birthday or bought for myself. So I think there's 7 books at home. I already got 4 back there. We'll see how many I buy in here. But I have about $220 to spend on books. So I've already spent some at Target, obviously. Tip, I learned this from an employee. Price match it to the app. She was able to come to the self-checkout and price match everything for me. And I got $10 off of all my books along with the 20% for Target Circle. So we're going to head inside and look around a little bit and see what we can get. So I ended up picking up 9 books. So the total for today was 13 with a $220 budget, which I think is pretty good. I'm definitely a little cheap with like buying books from Target and then coming to Barnes, but that's my number one tip for how to save money on books is Target and Target Circle. That's just the app on your phone. But I am going to head home. It is hot in this car. I'm going to head home. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a haul. I'm trying to cover up the titles here so you don't really see, but I have this huge stack. And then this entire bag is filled with books. Heartstoppers on the top, and then there's a bunch down there. So I'll be filming that whole book haul portion of this video tomorrow. So this is probably going to be a relatively long video because I think I have 20 or more books to share with you guys. So I will film that tomorrow, but that'll be the next clip that you see. It is the next day. To be honest, I don't feel like moving everything, so the lighting's gonna look like horrible, and I'm sorry about that. My fiance's right there, so he's gonna make fun of me for filming this video. Okay, so I'm gonna go over, I have the huge stack of books that I bought yesterday, but then I also have books that my grandma bought for me, Lauren bought for me, my mom bought for me, my aunt bought for me, and I bought for me. So, and then all of these books he bought for me. So, the first 3 books I got at a vendor fair, so they're local authors, which don't use that information to stalk me, please. But these are the first 3. My mom and aunt bought me these 2. This is 2 and this is 3. Obviously I wasn't very smart when I asked for this one over book 1, but I have book 2 and 3. They're romances. I don't exactly know what they're about, but obviously ballerina. This one, she's like sassy and it's like grumpy. And I think she's a single mom. So my aunt bought me this one, my mom bought me this one. And then the next one that I bought for myself. It's called Traitor Knight by Keith W. Willis, and it just says Knights, Wizards, Adventure, Romance, and Dragons. I'm not going to read you entirely what it's about, but it sounds pretty good from what I read about it. And it's like a fantasy with some romance in there. I wouldn't consider it a romantasy because it's not solely based on romance. That's just like a tiny part of it. So those are the first 3. I have to grab the rest really quick. The next book I have is Half a Soul. I bought this for myself at Barnes & Noble. From what I heard, it's like Bridgerton, but with fairies. I know she has half a soul. She can't really feel like feelings. And like she's like cursed by it. So she was cursed by a fairy. She has no sense of fear or embarrassment. So it says during the London season, which is obviously like Bridgerton, like trying to find a husband or whatever, the longer Dora spends with Elias, I think is how you pronounce it, the more she begins to suspect that one may indeed fall in love even with only half a soul. So obviously there's a romance in here, there's fairies, or like fae, and it's like Bridgerton, which is all I need to hear to want to read it. The next book I got, this one's from my grandma. This is Lady Macbeth by Ava Reed. She wrote A Study in Drowning, and it's a reimagining of Lady Macbeth, Shakespeare's most famous villainess, giving her a voice, a past, and a power that transforms the story men have written for her. So it's like obviously a retelling of her story in a different way. The inside art is beautiful, and then this is without the cover on it. I'm really excited to read this one. I've been eyeing this one since it got released. Nope, since it got announced before its release date. The next 2 books I bought for myself when I went to visit Lauren. I talked about them in that video. They are The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. These are small town romances with a like mystery aspect to them, but they're also just perfect for fall time. This one I got from Barnes & Noble. This one I got from Target. I tracked this one down, and we had to track it down so Lauren could get a copy too. This one's hard to find anywhere right now because everybody's buying it. This one was easier to find. I found this in like every bookstore. I don't know why people aren't buying this one, but they're buying this one. I don't know. Okay, the last book that I got before, obviously all this book shopping yesterday, is The Serpent and the Wings of Night. It says, for humans and vampires, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always, always guard your heart. So I think it's a romantasy. I've heard really good things about it. The only thing that scares me is the text is really tiny, but it's like vampires and humans and just a romantasy. I've read like the back before and it sounded really good, but I'm not going to read all of that to you. But vampires, romantasy, what more could you ask for? So let me go ahead and get this whole bag of things situated, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I've already filmed this, but people are not very quiet in this house, so I've been interrupted a lot. But we had to go to Target to get a bookshelf, so I ended up picking up some books there, and the employee explained that if you have your Target, like the Target app, Target Circle app, then if you pull up the books on there and you can like prove that they're cheaper on there, then they can price match it and you can get money off. So I got like $10 off of these books, which was really nice. So one book I got was Can't Spell Treason Without Tea. This is a cozy fantasy. They have like a tea and bookstore, and it's, I think there's like a mystery aspect. It says a murderous queen. There's like these 2 people, and I think there's like a romance aspect in here, I'm pretty sure. But I've heard great things about this recently, especially now that it's fall. A lot of people have been reading this one and have been saying great things, so I'm excited about this one. The next book I got was Christine by Stephen King. He is just iconic author, king of horror, people call him. So these are the new covers that they're releasing for him. I don't remember, there's like so many versions of Christine with different covers, but these are like the most recent covers. They're redoing a lot of his books lately. I think they have like Pet Sematary is different. That's the only one I can think of right now. The Shining, Carrie, I think. But this is one that I didn't have, so I grabbed this one. Along with that, I didn't buy this one at Target, but Different Seasons by Stephen King. My dad's girlfriend bought this for me at a garage sale, and it has like a bunch of short stories. So Shawshank Redemption, Apt People, The Body, and The Breathing Method, which he read him up there, my fiance. He read Apt People, said it was good. There's a movie, right? There's a movie. And he said it was messed up, which I think most of Stephen King's books are messed up. He's just a messed up writer. The next book I got was Hidden Pictures. So it's this girl, she starts babysitting this little boy, and he really likes to draw. He's 5, and he is never without his sketchbook. So obviously his drawings are normal 5-year-old drawings, like rabbits and balloons and trees and like little stick people, but then all of a sudden he starts drawing like these crazy weird drawings, and nobody can figure out why. So one really cool thing about this book is it has like the drawings in it that he's doing. So like these are like his normal drawings, obviously at the beginning of the book, but as you can see, there's like the dark pages, those are all of his drawings, and as you go through they progressively get worse. This one sounded really good. I've been hearing about this one for years, and he just released a new book. Actually, I think it's next month he's releasing a new book, so I wanted to read this before I picked up his next book because his new book sounds really good as well. And I've just heard this book is like very twisty and a little spooky, so perfect for fall time. The last book I picked up from Target was Assistant to the Villain, which one thing about this book is it's huge compared to other books. So I'm not sure how this is going to fit on our shelf, but that's fine. He's a villain. Everybody is like kind of scared of him because obviously he's a villain, so people are going to be scared. But he's looking for an assistant, and our main character, Evie, decides to apply, and she gets the job, and she kind of starts opening him up, and I think there's like a romance aspect to this, but I've heard it's just really funny, really lighthearted read, like not anything too scary or serious or anything, even with the villain aspect. So there's this one, and then I think Apprentice to the Villain is the next one, and that one just recently came out. So I didn't buy them both, I just bought this one just because I'm not sure if I'm going to like this, so I didn't want to buy both and then not read the second one. But that is the last book I got at Target. So I'm going to end this clip, and I'm going to grab the books I got from Barnes & Noble, and I will show you guys those next. So this is another clip that I've had to refilm. These are all the books I got from Barnes & Noble. I think there's 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yes. So I didn't break them into categories or anything, but we're just gonna go through them. So we have In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, 6 Friends, 1 College Reunion, 1 Unsolved Murder. So there's dual timelines with a dark campus setting and a darker look at friendship, love, obsession, and ambition. It's an addictive, propulsive read you won't be able to put down. So I've heard great things about this. It's considered like dark academia, I think, but also a thriller. I think everybody who has read this has rated it like 4 or 5 stars that I've seen. I've heard it's really good, and you don't guess the plot twist, which is what I'm always looking for in a thriller. I never want to be able to guess like what's gonna happen. So I'm definitely excited to read this. I'll probably read this fall, like in October, definitely. The next book I have is Heartless Hunter. It also goes by The Crimson Moth. I think, yeah, The Crimson Moth is the series. The book title is Heartless Hunter, but I think in other countries it's labeled The Crimson Moth. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that. But Enemies to Lovers doesn't get more high stakes than a witch and a witch hunter falling in love. So it's a romantasy. She's a witch, he's a witch hunter, and obviously they can't tell each other what they are because he's hunting her and she's running away from him. So I was really excited to grab this one. I was surprised because it was only $20 for the hardcover, which usually hardcovers are like $30. So yeah, that is our next read, or next book. Next one I got is A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. Marielle, I think is her name, knows not to trust a demon, especially one who wants her soul. But what's a witch to do when he won't leave her side? And she kind of doesn't want him to. So obviously there's a fake dating aspect. I love like books with witches in them for the fall time, or literally any time. I just love books with witches. Any like paranormal romance I've been really liking lately. The next book I got is All In. This is the 3rd book in the Natural series. I finished Killer Instinct Friday, and so I bought this. because I want to continue the series. This is becoming one of my favorites, and she's becoming one of my favorite authors. I do have the Inheritance games to read by her as well, and I definitely think I'll like that if it's similar writing style to this. This is like kind of Criminal Minds, but if they were teenagers. There's these teenagers with like natural abilities, and like they can tell when somebody's lying, or they can read emotions, or they can profile somebody. And so they're working on cold cases with the FBI. So this is really good. There's a little bit of romance in here, but it's a YA, so it's not anything like crazy. It's just a little bit of a love triangle. But this is the third one, so I'm not gonna like explain what this one's about because it'll ruin the other two. Okay, the next one I got is My Vampire Plus One. She wrote My Roommate is a Vampire, which I loved and gave 5 stars. This is like a perfect fall read. It's funny and just like cute. It's not anything too serious. And it is, yep, a fake dating romance between a vampire and a human. So that's all I really know about it, but if it's anything like My Roommate's a Vampire, I'll definitely like it. The next book I got, Heartstopper. I was gonna get all of them, but I decided just to get the first one. I watched both seasons of Heartstopper, and season 3 comes out either next week or this week. But I want to read all the graphic novels. The 6th one comes out. I don't know if it comes out this year or next year, but that one's coming out, and that's the last one. So I'm excited to read this because I liked the show so much. The next book I have is The Honey Witch. So the Honey Witch is cursed to never find true love, but when she meets a young woman who doesn't believe in magic, she dares to hope for more. So she can't love anybody, but then she meets like somebody. No one can fall in love with the Honey Witch. Then Lottie Burke, a notoriously grumpy skeptic, shows up on her doorstep, and Miracle can't resist the challenge to prove to her that magic is real, even at the risk of losing her home and her heart. So this one, the cover is really cute with like the little house. It reminded me of Miss Honey's house from Matilda, which that's why I kind of got it. But I heard good things about it. I've wanted to get it since it released, so I finally decided to pick it up. Okay, we have 2 more. We have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. So I'm not actually sure entirely what this is about, but everybody who's read it has rated it really high. This has been around for a while now. She's releasing a new book, I think next year. So I wanted to read this before she releases a new one to know if I like her writing style. So, a warm and uplifting novel about an isolated witch whose opportunity to embrace a quirky new family and a new love changes the course of her life. I think there's like a found family aspect in here, obviously a romance, obviously fantasy, because witches. Yeah. Last book I got, The Ex-Hex, the 3rd one to this entire series, comes out next month, The Wedding Witch, and then there's also The Kiss Curse. 9 years ago, never mix vodka and witchcraft. Interesting. Vivi and Reese have to ignore their off-the-chart chemistry to work together to save the town and find a way to break the breakup curse before it's too late. So there's like a curse going on. They have to kind of solve that together. I think this is so cute, like this cover with them up on the broom. Again, another one that I've heard great things about. I'm pretty sure this was YA. It just says fiction, but I'm pretty sure this was YA. So I'm not entirely positive, don't quote me on that, but I think I found it in the YA section. But that is the last book that I got. So that is 22 books that I got for my birthday. I cannot buy any more books for a while, like until like next year. So yeah, pray for me in getting through all of these books that I bought. But that is all I have for today's video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.